Clouds rise like morning sun, chasing points, the game's begun. Big decisions week by week, fantasy glory's what we seek. Pick your squad, the clock won't wait. Captain choice will seal your fate. Two enthusiasts breaking it down. Fantasy kings, we're taking the crown.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Tinker Time and FPL Pod, the show for every fantasy Premier League manager who's already second-guessing their ninth draft. It's Monday, October 27th, 2025, and whether you're wildcarding after Week 9 or just here to scout some differentials, you've come to the right place. I'm Matt, alongside Jim, and we're here to help you tweak, test, and yes, tinker your way to the top of your mini-leagues. We'll break down the best value picks, fixture trends, and hidden gems, so you don't have to stare at your squad screen in despair. So let's pop the hood, crack open the spreadsheet, and get tinkering. Jim, how goes it?
I am on the up. What a week I had. I'm out of second to last place. I didn't think it would happen.
I'm proud of you. You really stuck to your guns here. You have really just erected yourself. You're rock hard. You're moving up.
And I did it on the tails of missing the transfer deadline.
That was...
It was Friday. I was off of work. It was a little hectic around here. I was trying to get everybody in the car, go pick up some apples. Nice Friday afternoon autumn activity. I get in the car, I turn it on, 142. Tough.
You're not blaming your daughters for missing the deadline.
No, I'm blaming myself.
Okay. I just want to be clear because
I should have stayed up extremely late Thursday night and done it. But
yes, that
I didn't.
Hey, listen, it worked out. Without spoiling too much, you beat Lord Tinkerton this week. You thrusted yourself up in the table. We'll take a look at it towards the end.
I beat the average by a large margin.
I was just going to say.
I don't think that's happened very much.
I was listening back to our episode, to our preview app. I feel like a lot of our predictions were pretty spot on.
On a bunch of takes. Unfortunately, that didn't translate to fantasy team. But as well as I did, you had a tremendous week. You are leading the league this week. I think 71, 72?
I had a pretty good week.
71 out of you.
I will say, like I said it, I think after game week 3 or 4, I felt like, my table position was not reflective of where my instincts were. And I feel like I've had a good little run here the last 4 or 5 game weeks. The point totals have reflected it. I feel like my table position at this point, I feel good about it. I still got some ground to make up though. But yeah, good week for me, I'll say. But why don't we get into what happened? Good game week, I would say. The Friday fixture.
Not the most exciting game week. It's
not the most exciting.
Not a lot of goals.
Not a ton of goals. Shout out to Sunderland. Those Black Cats giving Chelsea the blues.
Cow.
Last minute there. We'll get into the recaps and whatnot, but I have to say, we were talking, just a few weeks ago, was Amarim, on his way out? He really has been earning his keep. United, if you don't look at the table now, but United have been playing well. Those expected goals are converting, and they're sitting above a few teams right now.
Yeah, Buemo, Cunha, and Chesko all getting in on the score sheet.
You know who they are sitting above?
Who's that?
Liverpool.
Slide continues.
Do we have to say it?
What?
Liverpool suck ass.
They're struggling, and I think it's because they started Salah again. I said it. They benched him midweek, like I said. They had a big win. They started him again. Disappointing 3-2 loss. Granted, Isak was injured, so
yeah, we'll get into it. It was nice to see Eze score on his homecoming there. No, come on. Do you have any sort of feelings at all?
Did you see he doubled down on why he chose Arsenal over Spurs? He didn't have to bring that back up. That's still painful.
I guess it was probably nice for him. I don't think it was nice for Palace fans. They probably actually. I think at that point it's like an exponential pain, right? Like not even like 2 times. It's like raised squared kind of thing. I don't know. It's just weird how that kind of stuff works out. You know, I don't know.
Serendipitous.
Don't look now though. Villa 4 wins in a row.
Yeah, I don't know. They just have ugly wins.
Can you imagine if maybe they took advantage of their early fixture run and didn't just totally squander
I know.
that light fixture, that easy fixture run to begin the season?
Yeah, so they're in 8th place right now. They're tied with Liverpool, and they were really bad the first 4 weeks. They didn't score 4 weeks, right? Or 3. It's at least 3.
Yeah, brutal. Absolutely brutal. And Watkins really still hasn't gotten it going.
Right. And that's why I said they're kind of ugly, really, from an FPL perspective. The goals are just coming in from Buendia and Matty Cash. Like, not who we were expecting given their preseason form. Hey, points are points. They're moving up the table.
Yeah, table's been interesting. I mean, I think it's still pretty early on. Obviously, we're only 9 game weeks in. One win can thrust you from 10th place to 5th place. That's some pretty big swings just with 3 points or even a tie here and there. I would say definitely some surprises. I don't think anybody would have expected Sunderland or Bournemouth to be sitting where they are. Liverpool to be where
Yeah.
they are. It's been nice to see some surprises.
Yeah. I mean, Sunderland in particular.
Yeah.
I mean, the promoted clubs don't have a great track record. And for them to be tied with Spurs for 3rd, I mean, we're 9 games in. It's not like a fluke that they're up there. They're playing well.
I think a fluke is actually a very common fish. But yeah, let's move on to Player of the Week, our biggest boom. None other than Micky Van de Ven,
What a
Spur
guy.
himself, 23 points, 2 goals, 1 clean sheet. You got that 10 DEF CON and 3 bonus points in 90 minutes. Massive haul for Micky Van de Ven.
Is 23 the highest points total so far?
That's a good question, actually. I could take a look. I'm looking back here. Let's see. So Semenyo had 18. No, Timber
Ugh.
had 24 in game week 2.
Rats.
So it was close, very close. But yeah, I mean, defenders have really just been kind of owning the player of the week. I think the way that the point distribution is just kind of set up, it makes it basically impossible for forwards unless they have a hat trick to get player of the week. Interesting. Don't you feel like defensive contributions almost should have been flip-flopped for midfielders and defenders now that you really think about it? Shouldn't defenders have needed to get 12 and midfielders needed to get 10 to get the points? Wouldn't that have made more sense? Defenders should be playing defense.
Right. But I think I thought of it as they're trying to boost their value even if they don't get a clean sheet.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
how I
that's
interpreted it.
yeah. No, I mean I think that's a fair point. I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I had saw that. I had seen that. Someone had posted that why are defenders it feels like 10 is not that high of a number for center backs. I feel or even for just defenders in general. They should be
Yeah.
getting those numbers. But either way, I don't want to veer off from the Micky Van de Ven conversation. I will say, Van de Ven, he got a lot of praise last season, and when he came into the Prem for his speed and for his pace, he had some injury concerns with those hammies, couldn't really stay healthy. But this season, he's been an absolute menace on set pieces, and I think for his size, I think he fits that bill. I mean, I think he always should have been someone who, on a set piece, should have been a threat. And Thomas Frank really seems to be utilizing him that way. I love to see that.
Yeah. Romero wasn't playing the game. I think he's kind of the one that we typically looked at for set pieces. He's pretty aggressive in there, but Van de Ven took advantage today. 2 goals.
Yeah, good for him. Moving on to biggest flops, biggest busts of the week. So I've got a couple. I mean, other than Chelsea just kind of blanking, I mean, Neto obviously had a assist. Garnacho had a goal. But João Pedro, just another blank. I mean, unless you're looking for a consistent 2 points in 90 minutes, he's your guy.
Yeah.
Um, Gyökeres, another blank. I'm putting another name out there. I know he's not necessarily the most expensive. He's not really a premium, but Tijani Reinders, whatever we want to say it. He had a lot of preseason hype. He had that, and initial kind of week one return. I know he's in a lot of team squads, but really he hasn't really returned at all. If you still have him in your squad, it might be time to move him out.
Yeah. There's a lot of other value in that price point.
Yeah,
I noticed you left Holland off your list.
yeah. I mean, I don't know if I can really call him a flop just with one game week. To be very honest, I had Salah even on this list up until the 89th minute when he got his garbage goal. So
Yeah.
he kind of saved himself there too. I'm trying to give players, 1 week doesn't necessarily constitute them being added to this list. These are players that really just they've earned it over the course of a couple weeks here, if not
Yeah.
a few weeks. So
And this was only Holland's second blank of the season. So
right, right,
not
right, right.
bad, especially for forwards who are kind of struggling to be consistent.
What do you say? Should we get into the matches themselves?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. You want to take it away, starting with Friday fixture?
Yeah, so Friday, early one I missed. Leeds hosting West Ham, 2-0 win. Brendan Aronson kicked it off in the 3rd minute, followed by a 15th minute Joe Rodon, who we talked about. We both had him in our squads. We were hoping he would return. He had a header assisted by Sean Longstaff. And then that was it for the scoring until the 90th minute. Jared Bowen, who we also pointed out, this could be a game where he can get some contributors. He did get an assist to Mateus Fernandez in the 90th minute, but ran out of time to finish the comeback. A 2-1 win leads over West Ham.
Yeah,
Rodon,
I mean,
at 4-1, he's been great so far this season. He's probably pushing on, maybe not team of the season, given some of the Arsenal defenders, but he's been great. And you really can't beat that value at the moment. He's one that if you don't have in your squad and you're trying to make some room for those Arsenal high-priced defenders, I mean, he's kind of a no-brainer to bring in.
yeah, I think if you're like you said, if you're trying to free up some funds, I think he's a perfect option. He's nailed on minutes. I don't think you put a ton of faith into Leeds' defense, so the clean sheet likelihood is not really there. But he seems to be involved in the attack. He's not afraid to get up there. I mean, that's 2 goals on the season. So you love to see that. So yeah, to your point, it's really just you want players that are nailed. I do want to just take a minute though and talk about Jared Bowen. So I don't know if you saw the highlights or if you saw the end of the game there. Just kind of chipped the ball into the box, and you know West Ham were rewarded with a kind of a flick into the back of the net there. But I want to just talk about his returns, right? So 5 points in this game. He had basically a couple blanks prior to that, but then 9, a blank, and then 9 and 2 more blanks. So on the season, he's got 42 points in 9 starts, 3 goals, and an assist. Jared Bowen, I feel like, at 7.8 mil, so he's obviously dropped. Actually, did he drop in price? Where did he start the season at? No,
He started
he
it.
started the
He's got-
season. He started at 8, right? So a little bit of a price drop. So you're actually getting him at a little bit of a discount. I mean, is he kind of talking his way into that, conversation of do I bring him into the squad?
I could see it. I mean, if you're looking for differentials, I mean, coming up, they have Newcastle, Burnley, Bournemouth, Liverpool, and United.
Yeah,
And
it's just
then
their
Brighton and
fixtures
Villa.
that.
But, I mean, none of those teams have been rock solid in the back, right?
I mean, if you know anything about being rock solid, I mean, it's just one of those things where like we've been talking about midfield options. I'm sure we're going to talk about Salah, and by the time we get to Liverpool match, as far as replacements go, it just feels like like people are overlooking Bowen, and I look at someone like Kudus, or I look at someone like Javi, who a lot of people had, or Reinders, right? Like if you have the funds, maybe Bowen is the person to bring in. Right, 42 points is nothing to overlook over the course of 9 game weeks.
Yeah. I mean, he's Higher than Pedro now, right?
I think so. Just taking a look here at the points. Pedro's got 43 on the season. Yeah. So,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, those were all front loaded. He hasn't done anything in the last 6. So,
Yeah. So he's 7.5. So if you have some change and you want the differential, I don't think it's a bad move, especially somebody like me who needs some ground to make up. That's it.
anything else on this one?
No, a couple of injuries, but like we said, you're not going to either of these teams for clean sheets. It's the cheap defenders who are getting consistent time. Goodmanson, one of them, is injured, so who knows how long he'll be
Yeah.
out for. But then really, it's just Bowen that I would think people are bringing in. So, all right, moving on to Saturday. No early game. So disappointing.
Brutal.
I
I
can't
thought there was
stand
something
it.
wrong.
I know.
Scoured Peacock and NBC USA. I think
I
I
almost
don't know.
went
I was
back.
nervous.
I thought we said that there was an early game, so I was disappointed in us. But it was Chelsea hosting Sunderland. Chelsea opened it up in the 4th minute, and Alejandro Garnacho goal assisted by none other than your boy Pedro Neto. But that was canceled out in the 22nd minute by a Wilson Isildo goal. He's been on quite a little streak here. Followed by a 93rd minute. Shamsdeen Talbi, assisted by Brian Barabi. That's a double tongue twister there to seal it for the Black Cats. An unexpected loss, an away win for the Black Cats. Unbelievable. So, yeah, I guess unbelievable kind of sums it up.
Yeah.
But another blank for Pedro, like you said. Marcuyu did get the start once again. I think Garnacho, good to see him get in and get a goal. What is he priced at?
Was it good to see him though? Like,
I liked him. I always liked him.
I mean,
I would have
I
liked to
could
be
do
being
without
disparaged.
him. You want to know what Garnacho's priced at? He's priced at 6'4".
Not the best.
Yeah.
Too much competition. I mean, he's
Yeah.
got Estevao and all these other guys I've never heard of.
Big Steve. Yeah. Yeah, this was a tough one. I mean, it was nice to see Caicedo and Enzo get their start. I know obviously pretty popular picks amongst FPL managers. However, they blanked. Owners who had Sanchez, Correa, I saw a couple managers out there with Reece James as captain. Obviously, the 2 goals didn't help out there. As far as Sunderland assets go, Mukiele owners, Reynildo was back in the squad this week. If you had Rovs and keeper, no clean sheet in this game, so really kind of tough to kind of take any positive out of there. As far as DEFCON goes, Mukiele missed, Reynildo missed, so there wasn't a ton here. Exciting game to watch, but as far as FPL assets go, we talked about Neto as a differential. I don't think too many folks had Garnacho. You mentioned Isildur. He's got I'm looking at his stats now on the season. He's priced at 5.6 mil, 37 points on the season. That's up there.
They do have a tough
look
run coming up, so
Yeah, that's
really need to kind of be forced into him, I would imagine, if you're going to bring him in.
Is he on pens? I wonder. I don't know if Sunderland have had a
check.
pen this season.
Let's check the app. So they have Mayenda, then Roberts, then Isildur.
Interesting. That could have made it a little bit more enticing.
Yeah. I honestly don't even know who Mayenda and Roberts are, so
I don't think anybody does.
it's tough to picture where the
Yeah.
But anyway, good win for them away from home. For a non-Chelsea defender owner, I was glad to see the clean sheet got wiped out, but a
Big.
tough one for Pedro.
Temporarily took them second at the time.
That is crazy.
That was wild.
I cannot wait for the next season of Sunderland.
You could wait.
All right, moving on. Next one, Newcastle hosting Fulham. So Newcastle opened up the scoring the 18th minute by Jacob Murphy, who we had been down about, but he just continues to stay relevant. Fulham tied it up in the 56th minute with a header by Sasa Lukic. But then Newcastle tied it up in the 90th minute by Bruno Guimaraes goal. And that was enough to hold off the final 6 minutes. So a 2-1 win over Fulham for Newcastle. Kind of what we expected here. Newcastle's been in good form. I'd say the goal scorers are a bit of a surprise. Voltemates, he was the most transferred in. So he got struck with that curse there with his blank. But I think moving forward, they still have a good run coming up. So I wouldn't be panicking. Yeah, I still get the win.
Yeah, it definitely hurt a little bit. I've got Nick Pope. Actually, I meant to start Dubravka. I don't know what happened. I must not have hit the save button on the transfer, so I ended up starting Nick Pope, who I actually think gave me an extra point over Dubravka, so it kind of worked out. But seeing that clean sheet wiped out by Fulham, who I think now have lost 4 in a row, it definitely hurt. Seeing the Voltemade blank hurt. But at the same time, to your point, a lot of people bringing him in means a lot of people blanked. So didn't really feel it as far as, how other managers maybe might have felt, the point bump. But yeah, Jake Murphy, a player that I think towards the tail end of last season experienced some success. I think a lot of managers brought him in. I remember, I think they were playing Crystal Palace in that thriller. I think it was like in a cup final for me, and he had like an assist. It was like a back and forth game. And I remember he had like an assist and a goal. And I was just like, man, Jacob Murphy, he's just on fire right now. He was one of those players that at his price, it was hard to ignore. And he's staying relevant this season, but I don't know. I think I texted you after he scored. I was like, he doesn't even look like he should be in Sunday League, but he somehow manages to score in the Premier League. So I don't understand it.
Yeah, he had a
Fulham are
goal
still
and
bad.
assist in
I
that
don't know.
Crystal Palace. You're right.
Oh yeah, I was damning Munoz that game because he had the yellow card, the pointless yellow. Nah, let's not get into that. Nothing. I have nothing to say about Fulham. I mean, they're bad right now.
Yeah, there's nobody that I wouldn't think anybody has. The King experiment flopped, and that's probably it. I guess only other thing to note for Newcastle, so Sven Botman came off injured, and they were already down Livramento, so maybe some trouble in the back if you have those defenders. And I know Dubravka's Pope is probably a keeper pick. So
You used to get in a little trouble in the back in college.
anything else on that one?
Nope.
All right, next game. United hosting Brighton. This is not the United we've been seeing so far. Mateus Cunha opened up the scoring in the 24th minute, assisted by Casemiro, followed by the 34th minute Casemiro goal, assisted by Luke Shaw. He is one that I specifically said was going to score.
You said Casemiro was going to score.
I
You
did.
nailed that.
Goal and an assist. Unbelievable. The scoring continued in the 61st minute. Brian Mbeumo, assisted by Benjamin Šeško, before Danny Welbeck, who I also called.
You also called.
Direct free kick, pulled one back in the 74th. They also scored a second one by Karlampos Kustelas, assisted by none other than the timeless wonder, James Milner. But there was still enough time after that for Mbeumo to get his second goal, assisted by Aiden Heaven. So a 4-2 win, and Mbeumo with a double. A good win. They're finally starting to put those goals away. The three new signings were the ones contributing. We didn't see anything from Bruno. Maybe the tables are starting to tilt a little bit. Maybe we're going to see the forwards go for it.
Yeah. So I have a fun fact on Brighton.
Let's hear it.
I think I saw the fun fact was James Milner is the first player to assist a player in the Premier League that was not born when the player who assisted the player who scored was started playing. So put differently, Milner started playing before, what was the guy's name? Costulas scored, basically. Sorry, before he was even born. Before he was even born. That's how long Milner has been in the league. You said it, ageless wonder. So good to see Jimmy Mills just aging like a nice bottle of Brunello. Nice
39.
39 years young. Come on, give it them.
Yeah.
You called Danny Welbeck. I still am not bringing him in. I mean,
no. And I said this is what's going to happen. He's going to score again this week to keep people on the radar. He's going to hook them, and then he's going to go quiet.
How many points now does Danny Welbeck have? I mean, I have to look. I mean, on the season, he's got 37 points, so he's right there with Isidore. Yeah, it's incredible. But enough about Brighton. They're garbage. Sometimes they're really good. United, man. I also think I saw a stat that basically was like, and of course, this is always like, if we did this and if we did this, but you think about where they started the season, right? They started the season with, Onana in goal, Bayender in goal, not Lamens. I think frankly, I think he's been much better in goal. I think he's really set the tone on that back line. And Fernandes missed 2 penalties. If he converts those 2 penalties, I mean, you could be talking about United. Where are they sitting exactly right now? Right? They're
in 16 points.
Let's say they win 1 game. I mean, they could be in second place. I mean, could you have imagined right now United sitting in second place?
We'd have to have the commissioner back on.
Oh my goodness. I mean, I don't know. It's all kind of coming together.
Yeah. And they have Forest next. Could be a bloodbath.
Forest haven't scored in, I think, 4 games. So ironically, right, Ange was supposed to come in and score all these goals. He hadn't scored. And now they're also...
Let's not say anything but poor about
Yeah, I know. But yeah, I mean, United right now, they look good. I know we were saying, between Fernandez and Bomo, I think right now Bomo is definitely the one you would want to target between the two. He's in form.
Yeah.
He's yeah.
Yeah.
Poof. Good for United.
Another good win. Brentford 3, Liverpool 2.
Was this
So
a good
Brentford-
win or a bad loss? What do you think?
It's a good win if you take down Liverpool. That's Brentford.
Mm.
So Dango Watara opened up the scoring in the 5th minute.
Who I called.
You did, followed by a 45th minute. Kevin Shade, this is by Mikkel Damsgaard. Liverpool did pull one back in the 45th +5 by Milos Kerkez, but then Brentford took the lead back again, put the 2-goal lead back again with an Igor Thiago penalty in the 60th minute, followed by a Mo Salah 89th minute goal assisted by Dominic Szoboszlai. But they ran out of time to complete the comeback.
Did you see the penalty?
Thiago's? I did not.
Yeah. No, well, not the penalty taken, the penalty Van Dijk that was called.
I didn't.
So there was a little bit of controversy. I think I'll try to paint the picture here. So Batara was kind of dribbling. He was inside the box and he was dribbling his way outside of the box. And Van Dijk kind of clipped his boot. He kind of lunged at him, but he made contact with him like right on the edge of the box. It was very much like right on the edge of the box. I don't know. I mean,
VAR overturned it, or VAR gave the penalty.
VAR gave the penalty. It was, I think, basically like what it came down to was the fact that Van Dijk lunged and he was in the box. So that means that he obviously had to touch him in the box, because if he was lunging and his torso, his caboose was in the box, that means that his body was in the box. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, we're never going to get, I didn't get to hear the sound bit of what went down in VAR, because those are always good. And those come out like a day or two later. But yeah, I mean, at that point, it was, I think, 3-1. And, the game at that point, Salah did put one, back just to kind of reward those owners, which, that kind of goes back to the beginning of the season, what Salah was doing, just kind of getting by, kind of justifying his price point. And Liverpool just, they don't look like Liverpool. I don't know.
They're loose,
Tough.
too loose in the back. I think we were saying, their midfield
Just like college.
Their midfield is good and has kind of been, keeping them in the games even when they're not scoring. But maybe they're not good. That's maybe, I don't know. I don't know what the problem is.
It's just so weird. Like, Slot came in last year. He won the league. Ownership backed him. They spent a ton. They gave him every player possibly available, and they just haven't seemed to put it together. I mean, maybe it's just as simple as they really didn't get a full off season to train together.
I can't imagine that's it.
I don't know. I don't know. Something seems fishy. Something's off. I don't know. We're not talking about like, Allison, having his blunders at the back line and they're putting a goal in here or there. Like, this can't just be because Trent went to Madrid and Robertson isn't starting. It doesn't make sense. I don't know.
They're 1 out of their last 6. It's tough.
Yeah, that's kind of a free fall.
And
is that 1 out of their last 6 in the Prem, or is that
no? That was Champions League. They won.
Okay, so they won that. Yeah, they won that game against Frankfurt 5-1.
So next they have midweek game against Palace, and they have Villa, then Champions League versus Real Madrid, and then City. So not a great run coming up for him either.
No, not great. Speaking of great, though, I want to give Thiago his flowers. All right, so priced at 6.2 mil. He's got 45 points on the season on penalties. I mean, we've highlighted 3 forwards, right? Isidore, Thiago, and Danny Welbeck. Bowen. Well, sure, yeah. All within, a point or two of each other. All of, very affordable options. Might be time to bring one or two of them in at this point.
Maybe Voltamade isn't the move. Maybe it's one of those.
Well, you can look at like Ekatike. He's sitting at 8.6 mil. He's got 36 points, but he's at. I'm just looking at his profile right now. He had his 11-pointer on the season. Sorry. He's got 36 points, but he had 20 points in game weeks 1 and 2. Otherwise, he has blanked in all but 1 of his last 7 game weeks. So you take out 20 out of his 36 points. You do the math, he's not really doing much. And his minutes have kind of come into question.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, and this was a lineup that they were doing so well with to start the season. So it's not even like it's different
Uh,
players. I mean,
yeah,
Ekatike is up top.
I think the only difference was if I'm just looking like on paper here, right? So I mean,
Bring back
yeah,
Curtis Jones.
Alice, yeah, I think McAllister didn't start, and I think they had Shabazai starting right back, and they had Gravenberg starting. I think was Gravenberg. He had a little injury, right? Yeah, just a little ankle injury. I don't think anything serious, but yeah,
Yeah, they got to
I
figure
don't
it
know.
out.
They got to figure it out. Got to figure it out.
League's
Or they
running away
don't.
from them.
Yeah, or they don't, and it makes the sale of Salah that much easier.
You don't think they would do it in January, do you?
Oh no. I'm talking managers, FPL.
Okay.
We're an FPL pod. So that was the Saturday slate.
Yeah. All right, moving on to Sunday, the early game. Bournemouth 2, Forest 0. Bournemouth opened up the goal scoring in the 25th minute. Marcus Tavernier goal. Man, I missed the timing on
Called
him.
that again.
Yeah. Followed by a 40th minute Eli Junior Krupi. This is by Tyler Adams.
I
And
called that.
that was about it. So Krupi continues to score. I mean, he might be the price difference.
Yeah, I mean at his
Some funds
price.
with him.
So I did see some reports, and I honestly don't know how legitimate they are. I think right now Bournemouth is very thin at the forward position as far as depth goes. I did see N.A. Zunal. He came on in the 90th minute, so I don't know how healthy he is. I don't know, how many minutes he actually could come back. I did see Evan Nilsson though. I thought I saw a report that he actually was not going to be out for that much longer. So, what does that mean for Krupi's long-term value? Is he a 2-week punt? Is he, I don't know. The Krupi returns have been nice. If for some reason you brought him in on maybe a free hit and, you got the goal, good for you. Another blank for Semenyo. Tough to see. I know you love to see that.
Yeah, I really need those to keep going.
Yeah.
Another
as
yellow
far
card for
as
Senesi, too.
Yeah, but did he get his DEF CON? No, he didn't. He didn't. So he got his clean sheet. Got his clean sheet. Same for Petrovic. So, if you had any sort of Bournemouth defender, you were able to kind of benefit from that. I mean, do you have anything to say on Forrest's side of the shop?
No. I mean, you were all peeved that I didn't let you go on about Forrest for 10 minutes. This is the last episode. Do you have anything to say? I don't think we learned anything from this performance that is worth talking about.
I don't think we learned anything yet.
That's big of you to say.
I can say that now.
Should we move on, or do you want to?
Do you have anything to say about Gibbs White?
No, I'm done with him.
Are you sure there's nothing you want to say?
I can't say anything.
Why, are you choked up?
Next game, Arsenal 1, Crystal Palace 0. You already mentioned it. Erebici Eze opened up the scoring in the 39th minute. Saliba came off injured, as well Declan Rice in the 82nd minute. So it'll be interesting to see how long those two are out for. Obviously, Saliba's highly owned. I don't know how highly owned Rice is at the moment, but he's been a consistent performer so far this season. But yeah, it's I think we kind of expected an Arsenal win. It would be a tough one for Palace, but after this game, Palace's fixture run turns really nice. So I don't think there's any reason to panic. If you have Palace assets, still is probably a good time to bring in Mateta and one of the defenders. So yeah, nothing groundbreaking that we learned here. Another solid Saka blank, which was unfortunate for those that had the captain band on him and missed the deadline to move it. But yeah, another clean sheet for the defenders too.
Yeah. I think to your point on the Palace side of the shop here, all three defenders, Richards, LaCroix, and Gahey, all got their DEF CON. So if you have any one of them, you're able to get a couple points there, which is nice. Mateta blank, I know a lot of folks brought him in off of his Hattie there, but I don't know if anybody was really expecting a major haul or anything, frankly, coming off the Arsenal fixture. But to your point, they do have a nice run, so maybe a longer term play there. I know you mentioned Sar last week. Also, again, I think we're talking long play here. I don't know if there's anything coming out of this game other than really his health that you can take out of it. He came out, played the full 90 healthy, so you're happy about that. Now, I want to, we talked a little bit about it in the last game. I know there was some injury scare maybe with Gabriel. kind of going into the deadline. Teta had maybe made some comments that Gabriel was he didn't really train much on Friday. The presser was a little bit ominous or kind of mysterious or whatnot, but he did travel. He did play the full 90. Ironically enough, Saliba came off of an injury. So, we talked about it in our little ranking exercise between Calafiori, Gabriel, Saliba, and Timber. Saliba, I said, injuries. That's what kind of, knocked him down a peg for me. And just like that, the injury bug nailed him. So, hate to see it, but yeah, it happens. So
they've only let in 3 goals this season.
That's incredible.
That's absurd.
They have 6 clean sheets in 9 games. 6 out of 9. 6-9. 6-9.
Yeah, I can't believe I didn't
Did
get somebody in earlier in my squad, but you live and you learn.
Did
You love and you laugh.
I'll admit I didn't watch this game because life. Did Saka come off? He didn't come off injured. I'm assuming he just came off from being tired. It just seems odd for him to come off in the 66th minute of a 1-0 game without an injury.
I mean, they didn't really need him, right? I don't know. It's
kind of
the benefit of being in first place. They do have a midweek game on Wednesday, so
yeah.
And they Burnley next weekend, so it's not. I'm not worried. As a Saka owner, I'm not worried. I wouldn't have captained him. I probably would have captained Haaland and blanked anyway.
I only ask, and this is, hopefully you're getting the idea that maybe I'm tinkering with the idea of moving off Salah. So there might be some players that I have in mind. Saka might be one of them. I don't know.
He's very good. He's very good.
When he's healthy.
He's Burnley next week. Then Sunderland.
Just saying.
Keep it in mind. All right. Next game. Aston Villa 1. Pep Guardiola 0. Matty Cash opened up the scoring in the 19th minute, assisted by Emiliano Buendia. But that was it. Reindeers with a yellow card, like you said. So his ownership, I'm sure people have had their last straw after this performance. Foden with another yellow card and a blank. I would have moved him out, but I obviously didn't. So he's at my chopping block. And also another blank for Watkins. So Villa have kind of turned it around here, but like we've mentioned earlier, no real consistency with where those goals are coming from. So it's kind of hard to buy in on who to bring in, at least on my side.
I do want to point out, I feel like I think I did mention, and this is not we're not doing this because it's about who said what or anything like that. But I think I did say I had a little bit of doubt in City's defense. Just saying. Didn't surprise me that Villa put one past them. But I did see a chart that said basically, City's top scorers this season. So Haaland leads them with 11. So he's got 11 goals this season. Esteve from Burnley has 2 own goals. So he's second on the list. And then I think Reinders is next with 1. Foden, I think, has 1. And there's someone else who has 1. So that's basically all of their scores this season.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
and that's the problem with it. Haaland has been incredible, but it's all been on him.
Yeah.
Which is
to be fair,
not
he
the
is
typical City profile we've seen.
No, it's not. Yeah, I'm not going to sit here and criticize City. Not because they're not worthy of criticism, just because Haaland's been so good all season that it wouldn't surprise me if he comes out next week. Who are they playing next week?
Bournemouth. They have Swansea midweek, then they have Bournemouth, then Dortmund in the Champions League, then Liverpool, then Newcastle. So not an easy run.
Okay, so Bournemouth next week.
Bournemouth next weekend, yes.
Yeah. So Bournemouth have had a pretty good defense this season. Maybe that kind of gets Haaland to rev himself up a little bit. Maybe he puts 2 past him. It wouldn't surprise me at all. He seems to rise to the occasion.
Yeah, agree. This, I would say, not a sell. I'd say any of their midfielders are probably safe to move out. And maybe even defenders, but I don't know who anybody has besides Martial. He's probably the only one. Yeah. Other than that, Villa, I'm still staying away from until they're a little bit more consistent. And I'm sitting on Haaland, even with the blank. 2 blanks out of 9. He's still a set and forget captain pick.
What are you doing on Haaland?
Keeping him.
Okay. I thought you said something different.
You must have misheard.
Oh, okay.
All right, next game, Wolves hosting Burnley. Real barn burner here. Is this the highest scoring game?
Does anybody own any players from Wolves?
No. So we'll only talk Burnley.
We'll just talk Burnley.
Burnley's Zion Fleming opened up the scoring in the 14th minute, assisted by Quindleshe Hartman. These names are just unbelievable. And then
These
they
are
doubled
fake.
it.
These are the FIFA creative players that these are
The
fake.
same two tagged up in the 30th minute. So they each doubled their respective contributions. The Wolves did have a penalty scored by Jorgen Strandlassen in the 14th minute, and then a Marshall Winetsky header assisted by Ladislav Krejci in the 45th +4. And that was it until the 90th +5. A Lyle Foster assisted by Hannibal Burris to seal the win for Burnley. So 2 goals out of Wolves. Wow, good for them. Still didn't get the win, but I think we said, this is a take we were wrong on, so we could hand up. We said bring in the Burnley defenders for this week. Obviously 2 goals against them, so the opposite of what we expected. But the result still stands. Wolves stink.
Yeah, Wolves stink. Yeah, a lot of managers had the double. They had Dubravka, Esteve, Burnham, to your point. I actually saw, I think I even saw a few managers pull their bench boost this week just so they could take advantage of that. And it just, it happens, right? Side note, I was almost hoping you would pull a little pun with Flemings and Foster. Thought you were going to maybe go something with like Fleming's Steakhouse and a little banana Foster dessert, but I haven't had, it's been a few hours since I ate. So I don't know.
You got food on the brain.
You never
Why
know.
don't you treat yourself to a nice steak before bed?
Go for a little bit. I'm curious. Jaden Anthony, so he's still sitting at 5.7 mil. I mean, 45 points on the season. He has blanked in his last 3. Burnley have Arsenal in their next game. Then they play West Ham, then Chelsea, then Brentford, then Palace, then Newcastle. So, I don't think you can look to bring him in.
No, this was the week. He blanked.
Yeah.
How are you feeling
Shooting
about
blanks.
Ian Fleming? Ian Fleming's. That's very close to Ian Fleming.
Yeah, to be honest, I thought Lyle Foster had kind of locked down the starting number 9 role, so I wasn't expecting Fleming to start. That might have thrown some managers too. I don't know if there was maybe like I don't follow Burnley very closely. I'll be very honest. So I don't really make too much of any of this, to be very honest. But
fair enough.
I will say I'm happy to see Wolves lose because that gives me faith that maybe we can expect 3 points next time we play them. Only hope.
Speaking of Spurs, Everton 0, Spurs 3. We mentioned it earlier. Micky van de Ven opened up the scoring in the 19th minute, assisted by Kuti Bentancur. Everton had a goal ruled offsides for VAR in the 25th minute. And then Van de Ven had a second header, assisted by Pedro Porro in the 45th +6. So Porro finally getting back in the score sheet. Another goal in the 9th by Pap Matar, assisted by Richarlison to seal it away. Good win by Spurs. Convincing win with another interesting lineup. So see more rotation in there. But good to see that we could still win, even with some different players.
This lineup for Spurs, I'm just looking at it. Obviously, Danzo's in there for Romero because of injury.
I kind of liked it, except for Moani. But
we need a striker.
We had to play him. I did see a report earlier that Frank is out on Solanke. He's going to try and sell him in January. It's going to be tough because he's injured.
That's tough.
I would rather have seen Richie start, but I like that Johnson started out on the right and Kudus center and Xavi on the left.
Yeah.
I feel on paper, I think that's our strongest midfield.
It might be. Spurs handed Everton their first loss at their home stadium, which was nice.
Goes down in history.
Yeah, I mean, we already talked about Micky. I don't know if we have much more to say. To your point, you mentioned Porro. Bentancur, I mean, he's not an FPL asset. I mean, no one's bringing him in. Spurs defense, though, no, you can't.
I mean, you can do Van de Ven just for the price.
Yeah, that's it. You're right.
I wouldn't bring in the wing backs at all.
I know. And it's ironic because I feel like we even said it on the last ep. It's probably time to move off the Spurs assets. And then just like that, they pull you back in. On the other side of the pitch, though, Jack Grealish, Jai, tough to see their blank there. I think Tarkowski, if I had to guess, didn't get the DEFCON this week. Only 7 defensive contributions. Tough week for Everton.
Did you see the tackle James Garner had on Kudus?
No.
I mean, he could have broken both of his legs. Really bad. It was only a yellow.
It's a racist.
Tough play.
Did you see the quote from Thomas Frank? He said, "I will definitely share a glass of wine with David Moyes after the match."
I did not see that.
He said, "I always ask the opposing manager, well, we're all in the same shit."
I'd be drinking wine if I was in the shit, but
well, So, anything else on this one?
No. Good to see the win for third place. Tied for third with Sunderland, so that's interesting. But
I mean, we'll take it. I mean, it's nice to be relevant. We got I just want the derby to be meaningful. It's been a while. I don't want it to be like, like people are going there and they're just, they're just throwing stuff at us and, like they're just smearing like chocolate syrup all over the place.
That was really bad.
How do you segue chocolate syrup?
Just go into it.
And Jim, this episode is brought to you by Bosco chocolate syrup, rich, classic, and the perfect secret password to guard your deepest, darkest banking information. Whether you're pouring it over ice cream, stirring it into milk, or shouting it in terror while clutching your chest, Bosco is always there for you. It's nostalgia in a bottle, the taste of childhood, simpler times, and maybe a hospital bill if you get too worked up about it. But hey, as far as final words go, you could do a lot worse than Bosco. Get yours today at keepitbosco.com and use code TINKER for 10% off. That's keepitbosco.com, code TINKER. Bosco. Delicious, memorable, and maybe not the best ATM password. And back to the pod. All right, Jim. So we mentioned point spread this week. Why don't we check out how we did? You want to go first?
Yeah, sure. I ended up with 62 points. So I had Dubravka in goal, so I left some points on the bench there. He had 2, Petrovic on my bench had 8. But my defense is Timber, Van de Ven with 23, Roden with 13, and then I had Renilda with 2. Midfield of Caicedo with 2, Foden 1, Kudus 3, and Captain Saka with 6. And then João Pedro and Holland up top, both with 2. So most of the points I had here with obviously Van de Ven and Roden kept me going, and then the Timber clean sheet could have been a little better if I had Petrovic in. But then again, my transfers I would have made would have been João Pedro out for Voldemade and Foden out for. I didn't decide. That's why I missed the deadline. I still was having it on. So either way, good week for me. Green arrows across the board, which is the first time I've seen that this year. So happy with the performance, and let's hope to keep it going. Now I got another transfer in the bank that I could use, so I won't take a hit.
You have 3 transfers next week?
No, I have 2. I was going to take a hit this week to move 2 people out.
I see.
So it's really, it's kind of like another +4 for me.
That's phenomenal week. This could be the start of something new.
This is the start. Something good.
No copyright.
How about you?
I'm happy for you.
Leader in the clubhouse. Let's see your squad.
71 points. Nice little green arrow. I mentioned Nick Pope in goal. Van de Ven for all the same reasons. Mark Gahey, 4 points. Joe Roden with a 13-pointer. Mo Salah with 6. Mo Kudus with 3. Pedro Neto rewarded me. I gave him a shot. Semenyo gave me with 3 points. Holland captain, only 4. João Pedro Voltemade with 2. Didn't really leave much on my bench. Dubravka and Reinildo each had 2. And Dorgu with a -1. Josh King. So my bench is pretty much useless at this point. But yeah, 71 points on the week. Crushed the average point. And most importantly, we both beat Lord Tinkerton. Lord Tinkerton imploded this week. Only 41 points. So he actually did worse than the average. Sanchez in goal, only 1 point. So love Sunderland there. Pedro Porro really saved him. The 11-point there with the clean sheet and the assists. Tarkowski with a point. Richards with the 2 points. And Goodmanson came off with an injury there with a point. Doku, who got some garbage minutes with a point. Bruno Fernandes with 4 points. Mo Kudus with 3. Mo Salah, 12 points. Garbage goal there for his captaincy. Semenyo with 3. And João Pedro with 2. And he had Dubravka and Mukiele on the bench with 2 points each as well. Chris Wood and Evan Nilsson are both orange flagged, which means they did not play. So, just around the average, but nonetheless still below. So nice to see us beating that AI this week. You're up to 13th now, Jimbo. You're making moves.
Not bad. Tough week for FPL Black Lab, though. 28 points. Hate to see that.
Yeah. I think he got nailed by the Chelsea. Yeah, that's what it was.
Doubled up in Chelsea defense.
Chelsea double. He's got the Jared Bowen. Yeah, he's a step ahead of us there, though.
Blind faith in Gherkins, though. That's a lot of money.
Yeah. It's okay. I'm sure I'll bounce.
Okay.
And so I mean, not a huge shakeup though in the leaderboard. Joe Tellerico, the Paisano Calcio Club, making a leap up to second place with 61 points. Yeah, but otherwise, Henry Paradise still sitting up in the top spot, 567 points. Matt Wannett still sitting there in third with 553. Paul Gonzalez in fourth with 545. And Akshay Shetty with 536 points. I'll round that out our top five. Honorable mention, Brian Genetti, Jesus Christ, 534 points. 66-point week this week. Very respectable. He used his bench boost.
Very nice.
That Pedro Porro bench boost came in clutch. Good for him. All right. Try to wrap up here pretty quickly. I think just real quick, we'll take a very quick look at price rises. Looks like, interestingly enough, since we've been chatting here, so Gabriel, Arsenal defender, and Declan Rice on pace to rise tonight. Looks like Holland was on pace to rise tomorrow. Dan Burn and Rofe, so the Sunderland keeper, are on pace to rise within the next couple of days. And Timber will also rise in the next couple of days. So some, bigger names.
Rice
names
did
to keep an eye on.
Rice did have another assist, I guess we should say. He assisted the Eze goal.
True. Even with the injury, though, right? Yeah. So even with the injury, probably nothing super major because price is still going up because it looks like people are still looking to bring him in. So yeah, just a few names to get ahead of. If you're looking to bring any of them in, we've been talking about Arsenal defense all season. Gabriel, still that guy. Looks like Isak, though, looks like he's going to drop in price tonight. Alanga's going to drop in price tonight. A lot of price drops tonight. Okay, we got a lot of names. Okay, Isak, Alanga. Let's see who else we got. Vissa, if you still have him in your team. Did you say Matoma?
Yeah.
Yep, I missed Matoma there. Matoma's going to drop tonight. Who else we got? Michaela Mudryk, if you still have him.
How's Mudryk still dropping?
I don't know why people have him in your squad. Kieran Dewsbury Hall is actually on pace to drop tomorrow as well. That's another one. Richarlison's on pace to drop tomorrow as well. Pedro Porro is probably 2 days out to drop as well. Milenkovic is 2 days out to drop as well, and Odegaard. So some notable names on track to drop in the next couple of days. So, if you're tight on funds and you need a 0.1 here or 0.2 here or there, you might want to think about making your moves. Deadline's around the corner.
There are midweek games for EFL Cup though, so keep that in mind.
Keep that in mind. I love the risk. I think we'll be back with a preview up this week, right?
We'll be back. No early game on Saturday. Again.
No early game on Saturday. No Friday game either, right? So
no Friday game.
Normal deadline.
Clock's turned back too, so it's gonna be that terrible.
Did you see the announcement today? Only one Boxing Day match.
I did see that.
What are we gonna do the day after Christmas? Play with our toys?
Play with our toys.
That'll be so much fun. Maybe we'll have to record or something. I don't know. If it's probably not. I don't know. But
get the families together and you and I run off for an hour.
Maybe you'll be busy unpacking or something. I don't know. Maybe something will be going on in your life. No, I think that probably puts a bow on Gameweek 9.
Think so?
I think next time we chat, we'll be Gameweek 10 preview. As always, drop us a like, comment, follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcast, YouTube. It's not too late to join our mini league. I'll drop the code, as always, in the description. And until next time, happy tinkering.
Draft dreams rise like morning sun, chasing points, the game's begun. Big decisions week by week, fantasy glory's what we seek. Pick your squad, the clock won't wait. Captain choice will seal your fate. Two enthusiasts breaking it down. Fantasy kings, we're taking the crown.